what does that entail? Do I just not do anything?
All right, so hang on. So we're gonna say custom build Metal Gear Rex, custom build stream, Lego Millennium Falcon, custom Metal Gear Rex.
You're live.
Forgot to edit my tags. I did everything else. Solid Metal Gear Rex, Solid Snake, Star Wars. Done. Edited that. Check the last few things here. It's great. We can see the instructions preview successfully in my top right corner. So we're good. Okay, so we are live on YouTube and we are live on Twitch. Got the correct title there.
I hope you're not, man. Yes, I am not logged in. Thanks for figuring out. Thank you, Mick Gordon. I hope. I don't know what the ad revenue is like, but ever since like a year ago, basically we installed apps or services that love for you to download their app, and I've switched to Firefox. And Firefox is just more than happy to be like basically the only not logged in. You're on Chrome browser that is just like a wash for ad blockers and stuff. Because Chrome's crazy. I don't know what the ad revenue is like. So now I can watch YouTube anyway. I've watched since like a year ago. It's basically the same. Shockingly goes for Twitch. I learned I love it. So unfortunately, I'm gonna kind of be an asshole. Firefox the ad revenue for me.
No problem. Take this way down.
Stew Bagel. Ooh, wait a minute. Oh, it's the Stew Bagel, of course, because it's only one.
I think, yeah, just don't say your password out loud or anything. Okay.
It would be very difficult because it's a bunch of letters and numbers because everything is now auto-generated through Bitwarden.
Probably as it should be. That's good. All right, I'm trying to... The only other thing I'm doing is I checked your audio levels really quickly, and we can definitely hear you. It's just a little on the soft side. So I'll go back into Discord.
Well, I can raise my input. I believe in a regular Discord call. No, in a regular Discord call, I might not be able. Oh wait. There should be an option. Voice and video output volume. You know what? I was at 90.
If we so I know you can be heard. If we two are unbalanced, then I'll learn something for the next one. It's just chill.
Yeah. And the important thing is I don't want to hear you. I don't want you to pick up an echo, and because I don't have a nice mic. Hey, wait a minute. Twitch. Oh, I typed that email to this? That's
Ooh. All right. I'm building. Let's do this. Okay. So I think everything else is going.
Oh, it should be that. Ooh.
I can't see a world where this takes longer than 100 minutes based on part count and stuff. I think we should be good.
Oh my god, someone's streaming Kirby Air right.
You get a guest. It's like that Gru meme with the 4 panels. You get a guest. They're on Twitch with you. They're watching somebody else's Kirby Air Ride on Twitch. They're watching somebody else's Kirby Air Ride on Twitch.
Oh no, that's tragic.
That's actually totally hilarious.
I'm not on Twitch all that often on my desktop, and it like bombards you with information. This guy just said, "Oh my god, this guy's like speedrunning." Oh my, okay, all right, no. This guy is.
Is he doing some craziness?
Maybe send it to me later, but weird. A lot of gamers out there.
No, there are a lot of gamers out there. All right, well this is awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. I picked this up in a big batch of sets. Right, like I usually just wait until things go on sale on Amazon or on Lego.com for like 20% off. I try to think of that as like the quote-unquote true price.
Yeah.
Which meant that about less than a month ago, actually, I think it was It was right when we started talking about major tariffs or whatever. So I was like, let's just get a couple things I've been sitting on. So here is the Millennium Falcon. It's got a nice box. It's part of this new Starship collection. So the idea is kind of like you get these, instead of play sets that are like minifigure size, you get these sets with these nice boxes and nice instructions, aimed for adults, that you can like put on your shelf or put on your desk at work, actually.
Yeah, they're like they're, from what I've heard, and I'm like maybe 33% knowledgeable on Lego as you are. They're MIDI scale? I don't know what that means.
So the thing is,
like
that doesn't... So all that means is that it's somewhere between minifigure scale, which is like, what's the number? I think it's 1 divided by 43. It's 1/43 of like real life scale. And micro scale, like tiny. So like we've had some like micro fighters, including like micro builds of things like an Imperial Star Destroyer, and they'll be like 40 to 100 pieces. So they're recognizable, but they're maybe like 6 inches long.
Oh,
and yeah.
Like the I guess there's even smaller, like the Advent calendar.
Yeah, those are even smaller. Those are like super, like they're kind of in a whole category of their own, and they don't match up. And similarly, MIDI scale doesn't mean a specific number, like 1/43 or anything, but it does mean that they look nice together. I guess that's kind of the best way to put it. Is they like look nice.
Yeah, I've definitely noticed that, because I know you're talking about this as a new series. I think this Millennium Falcon presumably came out this year or last year.
I think it was the end of last year. Yeah.
There's the, so I want to say the Executor and the Invisible Hand.
Yeah. And also those are a little bit older. And then also last year we got
the Acclimator.
The Acclimator, yeah, the newest version of the Acclimator. And we also got something else too. Home 1.
Ooh,
which
I remember
those are actually, you'll enjoy tomorrow night. Again, like Wednesday is like the second most common day I stream, if anything. Usually it's just a Sunday, but tomorrow night, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna race. I'm gonna have Antilles on Discord like this, and I'm gonna race him building the Home 1, and I think also maybe the Acclimator. So
that's interesting. That's an interesting idea. I might have to tune in for that. A speed running of a build.
Yeah, I think there's gonna be lots of.
Going up and doing that. Yeah.
I think there's gonna be lots of heckling and taunting for sure.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I don't know who to bet on.
It's pretty close.
Because you probably built more, but I don't know. I don't know what Antilles, what he's been up to on Lego.
Yeah, we the people want to know, but the people are gonna have to wait. Wow, they literally even have a little tail. I think this is a little sabacc table tile. It's tiny, just a 1x1 tile.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm looking at the thumbnail in the top right corner of your screen right now, and the image you sent me earlier this morning. I found it so tasteful and so perfect. I know we're I guess a little bit of a spoiler is that, like, in that cockpit, the mouth is open. Metal Gear. There's a little tiny one yellow stud, and I'm like, what? Why is it yellow? I'm like, oh, because in traditional yellow Lego, color skin tone is yellow.
Yep.
So they're representing Liquid Snake sitting in the cockpit, I assume.
Oh my gosh. Okay, that's amazing.
Right. So I'm just like, why? Like, I mean, I assumed it was a spare part or something, but I'm like, oh my god. It's like, it's a stud scale. One stud represents a minifigure.
Yeah, which is, ironically, it's funny you say that, because also they sometimes do that with the some of the MIDI scale Starship collection. So, like, this is another spoiler, but I've already built the Invisible Hand. I think last year, actually, I built it, the very end of last year.
Cool.
And, no, not the Invisible Hand, the Executor. I built both. The Executor, though, and the Executor, they've got a place where You have the bounty hunters assembled from episode 5, and
No kidding.
they're all
Oh, that
represented
was
by
on the
single studs, or actually by double
Oh,
studs.
that's clever. I never would have thought about that.
Yeah, right. Isn't that something?
Huh. Oh God. I mean, this is a little bit of an aside, but I've been playing, the quick matches of Star Wars Force Table.
Yeah. That's for Star Wars
Unlimited
Unlimited.
on Force Table, and good lord, I mean, I've not made a deck or anything. I'm still basically like seeing awareness, passing investment of it. But there's like default decks, I guess like pre-cons they have that they have sold, and those are like just ready to play on that platform. And good lord, is Boba Fett's pre-con just astronomically difficult to play against. And in there, yeah, you have like Boba Fett, you have Dengar, you have Boss, IG-88 ship is in that deck, and I'm like, oh my god, so you just like all the bounty hunters lined up, and I'm like, that deck is so hard to beat.
It just makes you think of it. Yeah. It's a pretty fun
It's
card game,
basically
right?
all about removal. Sorry, what?
It's just a pretty fun card game, right?
I mean, it needs more cards, but I like it more than any other card game I played.
Oh, wow.
Like, the resource management, it feels better. It feels better than anything that exists. Like, Hearthstone's, you get one crystal every turn, and you can play, like, one class, and that class lets you, finagle that number a little bit. Compared to Magic's, which is just like, well, pray to the heart of the guards, and like, hopefully you don't draw land or you do draw land. It's entirely up to RNG whether or not you can play the game.
Yeah. Oh,
Like,
you wanted
Star
to play the
Wars
game?
is-
How about no?
Right. So Star Wars Unlimited, I mean, I guess it's like a random fill. It just feels so much nicer in that you're like, oh, what's that? Here's my opening hand. I just drew like 2 7-mana things. I don't need those right now, so let's just use those as mana.
Yeah.
And it's just better. It's just easier. The momentum and consistency. It's just, I don't know. It's clearly a better system.
That's awesome. It's a good ringing
Yeah,
endorsement, they
so-
might say.
And then I saw that Antilles, and I'm not really even like my fingers not on the pulse of the game because I haven't bought a bunch. In fact, I have no idea like the cost of boxes or anything. Marketplace is a little bit confusing, yeah, with those hyperspace editions as you mentioned. But I guess they announced more. Oh, it was Star Wars Day. That must have been when Darth Revan was announced, huh?
Oh, I missed that. I haven't been following it super carefully.
Well, I don't know if that was an announcement, but in that group chat, I was just like, oh, that's an interesting card. So, not sure like what content they have on the horizon, but I'm always glad to see more cards of the game.
Oh yeah, no. I think what they're doing is awesome. It's very hard for me to resist the pull of getting sucked in to try the game here.
Yeah, I mean, I would assume it's going to be cheaper than Magic, but I would say maybe.
Magic
We'll
isn't
see.
that bad
Tomorrow
if
I'll
if you
have
have like something consistent that you build over time. If you're Magic gets bad when you're chasing whatever is like when you're chasing a format.
Yeah, it's chasing a format, or if you are very particular about the kinds of cards in your collection.
Yeah. Or
I know,
both.
and it's fine if you do that, like once every so often. Cough, cough.
Yeah.
Living collection, I think is it living collection or is that only in Pokemon?
I don't know. But I feel like that phrase kind of makes sense to me.
Right.
Oh, I got to geek out for a second. They've got a 2x2 dark light bluish gray round tile with like these grills.
Is that rare?
It's but it's a printed piece. It's got like a design on it that's got like the
Yes.
Millennium Falcon grills, and that design has
Yeah.
carried over since the very first Millennium Falcon set from like
I bought the very
1999.
first Millennium Falcon. That is giving me a lot of nostalgia right now. I remember seeing those.
Oh, you were able to see that clearly enough.
5
Yeah,
years ago.
yeah.
I was just like, oh my god, wait a minute. Those look familiar.
Yeah,
So
so
that-
like prints like that, they'll redesign them over time, but like the idea is it's very obvious like what part it is.
Of course. Yeah.
So tomorrow when I'm doing the speed build, it's going to be totally different because it's just going to be, I mean, anytime that you're building the bag bag by bag, and also the way it's intended to be built, it's just going to be so much faster automatically than when you're either you have like a pre-built set and all the pieces are scattered and you just pour them out and you look, which I guess I could do here. But I'm just kind of like, I found when I was building with Antilles over the winter that like for doing one of these custom builds where it's just really useful to like lay out everything really quickly beforehand. It like dramatically speeds up.
I was going to ask, I think I've seen this in your place before, this mat, maybe, or maybe I probably saw it in the last on Sunday's stream.
Oh yeah.
What
So
is the advantage of this mat? What am I looking at here?
So it's going to be hard to show without moving a bunch. So first of all, one advantage is up on the top. It lists like all the different colors. So like next Sunday, the stream I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be building a Lego farmland, like crops, using crops from like Lego Minecraft, Lego Fortnite, and a few that I've custom designed from scratch. So all of those parts like I ordered, and then when you're like ordering parts, whether you're ordering them from Bricklink, which are used parts, or Lego.com, which are brand new parts, but those are both owned by Lego, it's useful to like know like the difference, like this is dark turquoise, this is dark azure, this is medium azure. So it's useful. That top part is useful reference. However, there's two problems with the colors on this mat. So I'll show them. I have a totally separate reference I'm showing now, the periodic table, that I actually use for colors. And look, it actually uses the actual Lego pieces to show you the colors. And for reasons that have been always like frustrating me for like a billion years, Bricklink used parts and Lego.com new parts. They actually use different names for the same colors. So like magenta is the Bricklink color name, and bright reddish violet is the Lego color name. It's infuriating. So for those two reasons, this mat here that I've got in front of me is not super. It's not my preferred choice for looking at the colors, but for some people, it's pretty cool like that.
Yeah, no, I remember when I used Bricklink for the first time for the Christmas gifts. I'm building the Lego. It's not an alt build. I guess it's just an original build of the Toby Kadachi. There was a couple of different shades of those blues, and I'm glad they're actually kind of visible right now on the stream. And I was like, out of the hobby for a little while, out of budget for the hobby. But I was just like, oh wow, there's like new colors that I just wasn't aware of that got printed in like the last 15 years, which is really cool to see. And I feel like, and I've watched, I can't remember the guy's name, that one big Lego.
Maybe somebody like Jang Bricks or somebody.
Jang Bricks, yeah, and he's mentioned it's just like we got a new color in this printing of this item, and I'm like, how does anybody keep track of that?
I'm not gonna I don't know, I'm gonna tell you, do you start to build up like I would know, if I was looking at this piece here, this is a relatively new piece. This didn't exist 10 years ago, and you can see how it kind of evolved from this piece, which did exist 10 years ago. And when you see something like that in a new color for the first time, you kind of know. Or another example is, let me see if I can find a barbell. This piece, this debuted in 2021. And I use them in my custom parking meters. And this is a new piece. It's a very, very new piece compared to look at this pin, which is older. It's thinner. So when they first released this, they only released it in black, white, and dark gray, and I needed it in light gray for my custom parking meters. So I was just watching for a couple of years, and then just without any particular announcement, suddenly there started being light gray ones in the sets. And I was like, this is awesome.
Oh, yeah, that's really cool.
In fact, I'm not even sure I've gone back and swapped them out in my parking meters yet or not. I have to take a look at that. But, yeah, it's kind of...
I don't think I've seen your city in a while. That's going to be something to
Actually, I think around the corner here I have my my Turkish bathhouse probably has a parking meter in front of it, but I want to sort this nonsense.
Bathhouse. That's the moat. I think this is one of the most pure new. Yes, it's my.
Okay,
Lego
so
Turkish bathhouse.
So that was on stream last Sunday. not 2 days ago, but 10 days ago. we were working on like a whole like basically Mediterranean quarter.
Yes. Well,
Which
now
was-
that I'm following you and I've got notifications turned on, and I fixed my Twitch such that I'm not getting notifications for the like 98% of followers of accounts that I don't care about. So now, I mean, I'll get the reminder now when you are online because I know you can't always be bothered to text us every single time that happens.
Yeah. Well, again,
Okay,
like
cool.
the biggest thing to remember is like I'm not really doing this for like the primary reason I'm doing this is just because like anybody who's into this hobby, like you got to keep the backlog clear. You don't want your house to be overrun
true.
with Lego. Oh, this is a lot of little parts here. Maybe I'll just start putting all these little parts off to the side. It's fine. All right, we're getting there. Swiftly getting there. So this set is 921 pieces, which is, like I said, that if I was building it in order by the bags, that would take me sub an hour and a half. My money's on me. I think you should be betting on me, not on Antilles for tomorrow. Like, I'm just saying.
Oh, I will bet on you.
But I think it's gonna be like fiercely wild competition. It's gonna be no joke.
I bet it's gonna come down to something unplanned that pops up.
Who rips the box open more ferociously?
Yeah, someone like, oh, all the pieces flew everywhere.
Oh yeah. Stop timer, stop
or
timer.
someone comes by and delivers something. You're like, oh shoot, I have to step out or something.
Hopefully nobody's delivering anything at like 9 p.m. Eastern. But if they are, it's all over.
No.
It's all over. Yeah, and I think that's also why it's nice that there will be 2 builds. So there's like 2 chances for glory.
Yes. Look at this though. I'm always so bad when I was trying to like, I bought Legos, the pieces of the Bricklink, or over the last several years, what have I built? I know I built a BB-8. No, not BB-8. It's Star Wars Last Jedi BD.
Oh, BD1.
BD1.
Yeah, who I still don't have because he only came in that set. He's like $20 just for him.
Oh, the BD1 was like $100. Well, it was normally $100.
Literally
I got it for
just
$80.
reselling that BD1 minifigure that came with the BD1 build. It's like,
I forgot that existed.
yeah, you've got him around there somewhere.
Wait, you're saying it's $20 for that little tiny guy?
Yeah, that little tiny guy, 20 smackers.
Oh my god, that's wild.
Stuff
I
like
mean,
that happens. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Minifigures they're such an interesting market.
Yeah, I just bought the 2025 ARC 170 last night because it's on discount on Amazon for 20% right now. And I wavered. I was so on the fence because I'm like, I'm very happy with my existing 2005 and 2010 ARC 170s. But the minifigures, they have oddball.
What?
Yeah, no, and then like 2
I
really good looking
remember
clone
2 of them.
pilots. So I was like,
I don't remember any talk about the pilots, but I remember there was a lot of stickers in the new one. But if it's like at least 20% off, I think that becomes a palatable price.
yeah, it's 25% off, so it's $55 right now instead of like 80 or whatever, which is pretty good. So I got it. I think I don't know, I might sell back the ship. I might there's a lot of really great alt builds out of it, including like a shockingly good looking playset scale Venator. Like, actually, you can look this up right now because I know you were poking around at that guy's other builds. Actually, do you have his Rebrickable? Well, it's in the stream description on YouTube. I guess it's not in the stream description on Twitch. Point is, you can look up Rebrickable Metal Gear Rex, and it'll take you to the guy's page. Oh, wait. You can look up Rebrickable.com, and then you can look at the ARC 170. It'll take you a second to find the right year's edition, but
Rebrickable ARC 170.
so basically there's like one guy who like there's often like somebody has like so like you see that this guy Caravan Creation, like he looked at this set and he made like tons of different like things you could do with this Millennium Falcon, and somebody did that with that ARC 170 too. And one of the things they made was like a really cool Venator. So I was like, maybe I can like make another alt build out of it, even though doing this takes a second.
So Rebrickable, that's specifically a platform for. Is it you buy the set in the box? It's not like Bricklink. It's It's just a different platform to buy wholesale Lego sets?
Nah, it's literally just instructions.
Oh. Okay,
So
when
like
I
the
went back-
instructions for Metal Gear here cost me, I think it was $7, and that went to like the guy Caravan, Creation Caravan, Brad Barber.
Oh, I see him. I see
Yeah.
him, yeah. So, okay. So this is a, I'm kind of wondering now. Maybe I just completely missed it. Why the one guy, Jake, I don't remember the full account name, the Monster Hunter sets, who's like, he's churning them out. Like he's got like a new set every, I don't know, like 2 weeks or every month or something. He specifically was selling the instructions as a Patreon subscription, perhaps.
That's kind of cool.
I guess it's a different option. So this is like, well, hold on, was it?
I mean,
I don't
there's a
know.
lot
It
of
was like
different
5
models
months ago.
of how you could do something like this if you're trying to make a side income out of it. I don't.
Maybe he doesn't.
The funny thing is, I do sometimes sit down and make my own things, but I don't like taking the time to do them on. Like, I'm not currently using the kind of thing that like these people we're talking about are using as a source of income. But I could. Every once in a while, I see sets and I myself have ideas on what I could do with them that's different, like making the Turkish bathhouse out of the Raya and the Last Dragon palace. But
Raya and the Last Dragon got Legos?
yeah, I got 2 Lego sets, and one of them is what I turned into the bathhouse.
That's crazy.
So, like,
I
when
mean, I
you've
guess
done
that's
this a
crazy.
while, you can, like, look at sets, and you sometimes just go, oh, like, you know, the kind of pieces that they included in that, I could do such and such with it.
Wait, oh my god, those are really, really cool. Oh my god, they created bespoke Lego pieces for it?
Yeah.
A lot of them. Wait a minute, and why do the minifigures look so different?
So that set uses mini dolls instead of minifigures, which are equally common. They were originally made for sets marketed towards girls instead of sets like as a specific audience. But over time, it's kind of coalesced, and it's just now it's certain themes use minifigs and certain themes use mini dolls. I don't particularly mind them. Some people do.
Oh, that's a really cool. I mean, I'm looking at the art palace. That's awesome. I can see why you're interested in that.
I did a whole custom build out of that. It was cool.
That's awesome. Ooh. Oh my god.
And it was on stream last. I made this build like 4 years ago, but I had it on display on stream on Sunday, along with all the other Mediterranean stuff that I was doing.
Very cool. What was I about to say? Oh, all I know is about like Turkish architecture is the very, very, very intricate tiling. And then my second thought that immediately popped to mind was, good lord, the Lego, not the Shire, what's the one that like when they came out like within the last year that had a crazy roof?
Oh, Rivendell. With those
yes.
little. Oh yeah, I still I haven't.
Is that what you did?
I'm waiting. Not for that set. I have done some of those crazy roofs recently. Actually, we did one really recently because we did El Dorado Fortress a couple of Sundays ago.
El Dorado Fortress.
Yep. And it used some of that Spanish tiling.
Let's look at this.
All right. 3 bags.
Wait a minute. Oh, I had. You know what? It's kind of funny. I don't know if it was one of these. One of that, like the shell bases. I had something like that growing up. Wait, this is a modern day one. No, I'm looking at the old one from 1990.
Huh.
I think I had the medieval castle one from the 90s.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Yeah. So the new one. Where donde está el new one? Oh, the cobblestone. That's really cool. Man, Lego's so cool.
There's really so much you can do, isn't there? This is.
I got some friends buying some train tickets for Japan. They might need me to hop on call. I don't know. I told them they were just gonna buy them in bulk for everybody.
Yeah.
But he was implying earlier in the day, like extending the invite for people who wanted to join that call. So if I have to hop off, I'll let you know. But I think I can see he's on another Discord right now, probably navigating whatever website. I'm very thankful for that. But in case he needs like my
Your
Right,
estimable
or-
input. Yeah. Just let me know.
Right. So otherwise, no, I'm fully here right now. But
Cool.
just letting you know that might happen. My God, so this is what 1,000 pieces look like. So for an alt build, you really do need to open up all the bags. Normally
Yeah,
you
so
wouldn't.
that's the thing. So again, I try to avoid doing this as much as possible. Although sometimes if I'm not in a rush, I might do this, but I'll just pour them all out and I'll shuffle. It's actually exceedingly rare for me to actually move all the pieces around like this, but when I do, it dramatically increases the speed. So I figured I would do it like this right up front rather than be shuffling constantly on stream, because I already have to shuffle all the time whenever this is a new piece. This is a new piece to me, for example.
Yeah.
So like they took one of these and they just set 4 of them together, and now you have one like that. Never seen that before. I figured I'd do it like this rather than shuffling, since I have to shuffle all the time whenever I buy a used set, like the 3 Star Destroyers I did on Sunday.
Yeah, God, I can only imagine. Actually, you know what? I'm going to hazard a guess. The old Star Destroyer, which we were playing Baldur's Gate, I think I told you while we were watching, and I wasn't commenting. I saw that Antilles was commenting on the stream. And I did want
you don't have to. It's all good. All good.
But yeah, I was definitely paying attention to most of it, and I think at some point you were like, "Oh my God, this build is so flimsy," and I'm like, "Yes, oh my God."
We all remember. We all
it was
remember.
a terribly designed structure, and I remember we talked about this it must have been 10 years ago. That I as a kid felt the need to improve the base by cannibalizing other sets, and I'd never done that for any set before. That's how bad it got.
Yeah.
And I think I remember hearing you struggling about it. So I'm trying to hazard a guess if the price of that set. I mean, it must have inflated because all old Lego sets are more expensive than they used to be. So I'm guessing. I guess it is a more expensive set.
I don't know, because that one I already owned, whereas I purchased the 2014 and the 2024 ones. So I mean, we could check it.
We had to hop off, I think, before you started the 2 newer ones, which is a bummer, but I believe
That's funny, because I was a billion times faster on both of those, even though again they were smush builds. They weren't bag by bag, but still it's way faster.
Okay, good.
I'm just gonna put all this. Hold on, I'm almost done. Yeah, I'd almost rather just shuffle around than do this tedious process of sorting like this. But it makes it so much faster. It's indescribable.
I was about to ask, with your, assuming what I can see on this screen, and knowing the rest of the space, I'm kind of curious, where do you, what extra space, what would you buy? What would you have besides just a bigger table? What would you, I don't even, God, I'm looking at this, I'm like, where do you even start? Where do you build out from?
This actually, yeah, so I usually right where my hands are right here, which is visible on both screens.
Oh, I did see bottom right.
Is kind of where I tend to get going with it. This space actually works reasonably well for me, so long as I'm careful about planning out sort of where I'm going to put things and what projects I'm working on at a time. And I use the margins here off screen and here off screen to store certain things as well. It actually works pretty well. And that's probably the only real change I would make, is I would use even more margins. I have another 8 inches. But no, it's all pretty good, actually.
Okay. I mean, I don't know what you can do. This just seems like this is hard mode for building a set where you have to have all the bags out.
This is absolutely hard mode for a set.
Oh my God.
Whether you're building the original instructions or you're doing an alt build, it's tedious.
Yeah.
So I try, which is why I try to not just we were talking about that new Arc 170, and I try to avoid just buying sets like that and making alt builds out of them constantly, because it takes so much time. So unless the alt build is really stunning, so Antilles and I both bought the newest buildable R2-D2 that came with Dark Malik as a bonus minifigure. Yeah, so that
Malik?
He's from the Old Republic. So Antilles obviously knew all about that. He's kind of our subject matter there. And there was an alt build for Cal Kestis's Stinger Ray Mantis out of the parts of R2D2. That's actually really, really
There's
good.
no way.
It worked.
Stinger Mantis.
It worked.
Good?
It worked. It looks really good, actually. So we both built it.
Oh my god! Because I remember looking at the Stinger Mantis like 2 years ago when the game came out, and like I wasn't satisfied with any of the images. Like I guess I wasn't even aware of the alt build community, but like I don't know, none of them seemed like accurate. But I haven't checked in like 2 years, and I bet something really good came along. I mean, actually, yeah, I guess you're talking about the R2D2 alt build. Oh my god, I can imagine that Darth Malik minifigure's like $50.
Yeah. So again, let's see. Copy.
I lost you.
All right, you still have me?
No, I'm back. Yep.
Yeah. So what I switched my scene. I switched my scene to make sort of like where my hands are right in front of me a little bit more.
Yeah, look at that.
Yeah, a little bit more visible, and I needed to make sure I added you there too.
Sense. This is perfect.
Yeah, look at that, and then you can see the treasure trove of parts that I'm working with. So now, so like my parts per bag, if I'm working with like my speed per bag, like talking about like tomorrow, if I'm working with a set where we're going bag by bag the way it was intended, it's really fast. It's faster than 100 pieces per 10 minutes. It's faster than 10 pieces a minute. So like when I say like, oh, the size of this set is 900 pieces. So like I can look at that and go, I would be done with this faster than in 90 minutes. If I have to shuffle build, like if something was like this but unsorted, it's like literally like 3, 4, or 5 times slower than that. But this, it's not quite 10 pieces per minute, but it's close. So I'm back to a point where it won't take me much more than like the stated amount of time, even though it's an alt build, which is why
that's an insanely impressive rate. And I was just marveling the fact that I mean, you must have clicked something, but the fact that it's progressing to the next, I don't know, page.
Phew. Yeah, I have my.
That's a great feature that you have.
You want to hear? So no one's asked about that. Do you want to hear my super secret feature? Just a 1x6.
Is it a foot pedal?
It is a foot pedal. It is a foot pedal. It's so brilliant. It's literally amazing.
How did you even think of that?
So I actually thought it. So okay, here's the thing. First of all, where is this 1x6 black plate? That seems to be missing. I thought of this way before I thought about streaming, because I would just sit at various desks or various setups, and like it's just very annoying to put down your build and move a mouse or like press a space bar. Like I found it, I don't know, it just always bothered me. And at some point I was like, I don't know, I just had an epiphany. I was like, what if I did a foot pedal? And then I was like, surely somebody has made a foot pedal that you can map. So I have a pedal that is two, it's a left and right button, so I use them as up and down. But I mean, I could map them to, like, it's programmable. I could map it to anything. I could map it to Guild Wars 2. Oh yeah, cat time. There's a chair for cat time.
Aw, she's looking at you. Aw.
Cat time.
Hey
everybody.
They're not here right now.
Literally, what could be better?
Oh my god, you're living the life.
I know. I'm charmed. I'm blessed. I have just about everything that ever could be needed.
She's drooling on your arm.
She's like, yo.
Oh my god, yeah, you're building way faster than I could build. Especially given what you're looking at.
So this is the thing, and this is why I think I'm still a hair faster than Antilles, is what this comes down to is literally just recognition. Like, I know the shape and the feel of the pieces just from, like, exposure over time, which is why when I pick up something I've never picked up before, like this one we talked about, I'm like, oh, hey, I know what constituent parts that came from. It's pretty cool. And, like, Lego, we were talking about, you were asking about this mat, and I talked about what I didn't like, which is the colors. But what I do like is that, like, you can't really see it because I'm covering it, but it's got, like, the math and numbers behind all the Lego pieces, like all like there's so much science and math that's used in like how different Lego pieces fit together, and like a brick with side studs versus a headlight brick with recessed studs, and like how they all interact. All those interactions are written out. Actually, they're literally written out right here, for example.
Interesting.
And I don't have to make use of that right now because I'm not making a custom build. But if you were somebody like this guy, Caravan Creations, and you were like looking at how to get the angles for this Metal Gear Solid perfectly, a tool like this is how you would do that, basically.
Yeah, I was wondering, like, how the heck do you even, like, how do you not waste, like, dozens of hours of your life trying to, like, I'm gonna, like, just the fact that you can even consider alt builds and making something from a totally different franchise. Like, that idea, I feel like, can't exist unless you have this framework, these formulas,
Literally.
diagrams, I guess I'm seeing. Yeah, like, if you get quickly recognized and through practice and through, like, just familiarity. Yeah, like, I guess, like, it's weird because it's like, oh, I see that there's the Millennium Falcon. And I'm like, part of my brain's like, sure, there's probably an alt build you can do with it, maybe. And then you see the thing that you sent me this morning, and I'm like, oh my god, of course. Like it definitely would make sense. Like, all the colors are perfect. I'm sure it's got all the right lengths and all the right scales. I'm not playing that. I'm not. And I'm wondering, I'm just kind of curious as to, like, what, I wonder, like, yeah, what the ratio of pieces is. Do you know how many pieces this Metal Gear Rex
Yes, I do.
uses?
So that's
1,000?
actually, funny enough, I didn't look at this one, but like I can give you a perfect example. So this is something that I look for with alt builds because very few of them are going to use every single piece that is included in the original set. But one of the metrics that I use for success is not just does the alt build look good, but like, can it use like the highest amount of pieces possible so that I'm not like wasting a bunch of pieces that I have to store somewhere or think about somewhere. So I don't remember how much Metal Gear Rex is using, but like last night when I was agonizing over whether to pick up that new ARC 170 or whatever, and I looked at the tons and tons of alt builds that people have made of it because nobody likes the set, but everybody wants the minifigures. And I was like looking, and like the one that I liked the most was like 810 pieces out of 890, and I was like, that's pretty good. Like I wouldn't mind that. I can store 80 pieces, and I have something very clever that I do regarding storing the pieces for my Star Wars alt builds, but that's like a secondary note. But everybody would have to come up with how am I sorting them, or like people who build like other stuff all the time probably just throw them into their loose parts bins or their sorted parts bins or something and call it a day.
Yeah.
But I'd rather like. This is the whole, but that kind of defeats the purpose of it being an alt build instead of a custom build like my Farmland Nest Weekend, because like I can sell this back at any point, right? I have a whole Millennium Falcon here.
Oh, good point.
Whereas like when I do, like I don't want to like poo on, like custom designs because they're by nature going to be the coolest of the cool. But like when I've done like completely custom designs, like I have an Imperial hangar simple design that I'll be putting together. Probably in July, made completely from like parts, right? I ordered all the parts from like lego.com, but like those parts don't have intrinsic value, so they're kind of just like lost money there. Yeah. Versus an alt build, there's the intrinsic value of it. Any point I can sell back the set.
Yeah, as long as you keep your parts organized. That's a good point. Huh.
Yeah, and I'm pretty organized, so So what I do with my most of my alt builds are Star Wars. Actually, just about all of my alt builds are Star Wars because it's only really Star Wars sets that I would be like, I don't want this set, but I'm going to get it because of the minifigures, and then I need to do something with it. So one of the other things, like July is going to be really cool with all these custom builds. One of the other things I'm going to do in probably July is I'm designing basically like a shipbuilding facility, like a huge 64 by 64 stud warehouse that is like like a TIE fighter building facility or something. And so like when I have like let's say that like this right here is all that was left of the Millennium Falcon, so I'll like put these in a stack and they're together and I can like label them, but then they're like integrated into the city in a big lot, you know?
Oh, that's a great idea.
I was like, yeah, you know, he's kind of got this Star Warsy theme to it anyway. I was like, I figured this is one way to do it.
Man.
And again, that's just because I don't want to lose the parts to all the different alt builds that I've got. I made that super cool, the ATTE that was released in 2023. I turned into a
What?
UTAT. That's on my Instagram somewhere.
Oh, I think I remember you maybe telling me about that, or their ATTE. Oh my god.
And it's from Rebrickable. It's somebody's Rebrickable instructions again. It was super cool.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh my god, and this new one, the 2023 one, came with Commander Cody.
Yeah, and again, it was like, I don't know, that's a really cool minifigure. There's a collection element to it to some point. I mean, I try not to just... Collections can be very dangerous when you're like, if they print it, I will buy it. I think of like Magic cards, right? Like, but when you have some rough parameters, and I don't know that I could state my parameters for Lego Star Wars minifigures, but I think they kind of vaguely exist in my mind. That's some major copium, but we're just...
I think they know that this audience exists. They think I appreciate Lego for they seem to have struck a particular balance with, you know, long-term success while also chasing like short-term collectability and, you know, movie like that. I guess going back to the the Raya and the Last Dragon. I forgot that movie came out, but the fact that they like provided a movie tie-in set, unique pieces, I think inherently increases the value and the turnover of their inventory.
Yeah.
So like it's something that like allows their designers to have more fun designing sets while also like providing something for collectors to chase.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And like just the nature of the medium, right? The fact that you can like this is what we're doing right now is literally like the point of Lego. Like this is why it's like survived in an era where other like non-electronic toys have died out. You can use your imagination and stuff.
Right. I wish I had been more aware of this. Like I know they used to have like official alt builds that they would give you an image of.
Yeah.
Do that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Or they're like, you can also do this. And I'm like, that's so cool. Oh, there's no instructions. Never mind.
I'm literally so #triggered by what you just said because I laboriously, like 10 years ago, worked out, so for the original Trade Federation MTT, the multi-troop transport, they had a...
One, the brown one?
Yeah, the brown one from like, again, 1999. And I finally worked out like one of the alt builds, and again that was like a 700 piece set, maybe even more. It might have been more.
Yeah.
But Lego pieces were bigger back then. And I laboriously worked it out, and I just brought it here, and it broke in transit. And I'm like,
what?
So I'm gonna have to go on that adventure at some point. All right, we're clearly making something here. Look at this. I don't know what it is.
This must be one. This is definitely one of the legs. I mean, I would assume the legs are identical. I don't know if hopefully the first page didn't say like double this.
Nope. I actually don't mind when they say double this. Like I enjoy doubling it.
Yeah. It's so fun seeing just the color palette of the set. And like knowing that this is supposed to be a Millennium Falcon, and I'm like, oh, these brown things are probably the interior. They're the underside. The red, red and blue. Those are usually the connecting pieces. Gray. I'm just like, oh yeah, the color palette just seems Star Wars. And I guess I'm just like, I'm marveling that someone had the genius idea to be like, yeah, this can also be a Metal Gear Rex.
Yeah.
I'm wondering actually now. I'm kind of curious as to how it's going to shake out um,
If this
with
is one
Lego now.
leg, this thing must be huge. Like,
It must be. Oh my god, yes. I mean, it seems like it's a very sturdy build, which it should be. Like, that was, I guess, my complaint, which is probably a common pitfall for a lot of alt builds slash, I don't know, original builds,
yeah,
fan
so
builds.
I think it actually applies much more to alt builds because you're forced to work with a very limited palette.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully the like, I don't know, the arms, I imagine the legs are very sturdy, just from what I'm looking at and knowing the source material. I mean, like Metal Gear X, I
Yeah,
guess this
so
is as
like
good as
so
mine.
like yeah, what is like tell tell me about Metal Gear Rex. Like what are we
Well,
doing
good
here?
thing I was just on the Wikipedia
Uh,
technically for a different Metal Gear and non-Metal Gears. But Metal Gear is like retroactively, I'm trying to think in the timeline, in the universe of Metal Gear Solid, it is functionally the same thing as our universe, except for I think after World War One, there was like a secret agreement between like world leaders to pool together a fund of money. Actually, no, I think it was after World War Two. I think it was after. Well, I can't remember. Shoot. But there's a pool of money called the Philosopher's Legacy, and this, like the philosophers being, I guess, these like world leaders, wanted to pool together money for a reason I'm forgetting. Through the events of I'll just kind of skim along and maybe I'll fill in the holes backwards in case someone does end up seeing the stream and gets pissed off that I'm not ready on demand to provide video essay quality on something that I've only played 2.5 games of the entry of the franchise from. But Metal Gear Rex is the United States Army, basically. Over the 1970s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and the 90s in this universe, different factions, different countries had their swing at trying to combat the concept of like nuclear deterrence and first strike capabilities. The Soviet Union, and it's actually funny, there's an alt build for the Shagohod. Soviet Union in like the 60s decided, okay, we need a way to launch ICBMs at America, and instead of just relying on nuclear missile or nuclear-equipped submarines, we wanted to have a land-based method that was portable. And the entire philosophy of Metal Gear sprung from that. Metal Gear specifically refers to, at least a true Metal Gear, is something that is a mobile nuclear launch capable vehicle. And Metal Gear Rex was developed in secret after lessons learned from the failures of the Shagohod, which was blown up in Metal Gear Solid 3, a game which I think you would absolutely love because it's all about stealth and it's literally set in like fictional Soviet Union. Everything is like it's like
that's my jam. Both halves of that sentence are my jam.
Like the gamer's first exposure to Russia, like it was very much like, oh my god, a game set in like a fictional Russia during the Soviet Union, and you're like a spy for like an international or like for America with like a UK handler, and like the villain is like basically a James Bond villain, but it's just so well written, and the art direction is great. But anyway, the Shagohod was like a turbine driven. It would use like airplane runways or like long flat stretches of ground to like launch missile. And then later games, they had like AI, which is kind of fantastical, but assuming that someone had floating around like $500 trillion of a budget, I think some of the technologies in the universe would be further along. But Metal Gear Rex was like developed in secret by the Department of Defense and a bunch of different defense contractors, like very much a, hey, look, the Crystal City defense contractors, what do they make? There was a secret base in Alaska that they wanted to test.
I feel like I saw something. I think I saw a list of like the contractors that were building, and some of them were real, or like not the contractors, but like DARPA.
Yeah.
DARPA is real.
They will use government agency names. Actually, is DARPA? What is DARPA?
DARPA is the Defense and Advanced Threat. So there's two things. There's DITRA and there's DARPA, but basically they're both like real advanced weapons research wings of the Department of Defense, collaborated with other agencies.
Ah, okay. So it is part of DoD. I just was like remarking mentally. I'm like, it's really funny. And over the last 10 years, I don't think I've ever heard a peep of a news article ever talking about DARPA.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
but yeah. I mean, I don't think most.
Kind of the goal, I guess.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the goal. I don't think most people have much insight into what, even with all the things that are happening in the United States right now. Haven't heard anybody talking about cutting DARPA or DITRA funding.
So I think I wish I had like studied a little bit more. But Metal Gear Rex, I believe, in the 90s, because I think the game came out in the late 90s, but 90s, Soviet Union, Cold War, the wall fell down. The need for the development of this technology, I guess there was like threats of, I'm kind of like getting the plot of the game, but there was like budget cuts. They were saying like, okay, hey, you know what? This project that we've already thrown a bunch of money at is spiraling greatly out of control. And really, the Cold War is over. We don't need like stealth nuclear launch capabilities. Hence, there's a railgun on Metal Gear that is designed to be like an experimental prototype technology that is able to like shoot an undetectable warhead at ICBM range anywhere in the world, or at least to the heart of Russia's homeland and Moscow. And they were like threatening to shut that down. So the different arms, defense contractors and government agencies were like, no shit, no, you absolutely can't do that. We need to finish this project. So there was like, the Metal Gear games have always been great. I feel like at realistically balancing a fictional like government drama situation. Like, I don't know, it's hard to describe. It's been too long since I've played one, but I've always appreciated the writing that goes into them. It always feels very realistic.
So it's like very believable in the way they do storytelling.
Yeah, very, very much so. I think they've been trying to get a Metal Gear Solid 1, the one in which this Metal Gear Rex, the game in which it is first shown in. They're trying to get a movie off the ground, I think, for like the last, it's like 5 or 6 years, but I haven't heard anything, so I guess it's not going anywhere. But it's just like it's a very well written story. It's like one of those video games that deserves an adaptation, but for whatever reason hasn't. But anyway, Metal Gear Rex is a portable nuclear launch capable vehicle, and is also designed to hold its own in a field of combat. Hence, I think the very, very, very sturdy legs. I'm kind of curious if there's going to be any kind of detail or attention to detail paid to it having like embedded machine guns, and I'm kind of curious if the radar, I believe it's not just radar, it's called something else. The radar dome on its right side, its left side, sorry. I'm kind of curious if that's going to be adjustable, because it is in the game and it kind of is, it literally factors into like the boss fight that you have with it.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm not reading the Wikipedia now. I should have had it up earlier. Heavily bribed by Armstead. Yes, he was heavily bribed to have it completed. Yes, the United States black budget. Oh, yeah. Okay, but let's see. Let's scroll down to its... but it's so great. It's so great. Like, I don't want to give spoilers for, like, the plot, but obviously, like, you know, in Metal Gear Solid 1, you ultimately have to fight it, and you defeat it. But through circumstances which I'm not entirely familiar, I guess the schematics for it leak, like, onto the dark web. And the United States Navy, or the United States, like, absolutely freaks out, because, like, oh, holy shit. Now, like, any, like, warlord or any, like, really, really well-funded person could, in theory, build a stealth-capable, or a stealth nuclear launch capable vehicle. Ooh, interesting. Oh, one single leg? That's going to be interesting to temporarily connect them. Which leads into the development, the very, very rushed development. It's like it becomes an arms race for something that they, like a demon that they created.
Huh.
Which they create the prototype Metal Gear Ray. It's like literally something the United States Navy partnered with like various different defense contractors, rushes to produce a vehicle capable of destroying other Metal Gear.
A weapon to surpass Metal Gear. Is that where that phrase comes from?
It's I think that came from Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, which is kind of a joke. I still don't understand that meme, like that phrase. There's a lot of phrases from that game, and like there's trailers that I could talk a lot about.
It's such a good phrase, though.
They don't make a lot of sense, and I think it's because they didn't make sense that fans like memed it into like the stratosphere. But no, Metal Gear Ray was like it felt like a realistic depiction of like, okay, we have to like basically design a machine that is perfectly suited to countering something that we might see because we fucked up. And there's so much more to the story. Like there's video essays I could send to you that would be like a condensed, I think, lore dump would be about 6 hours.
Wow.
I think there are people who have done like 12-hour video essays on like just Metal Gear Solids like 1 through 4. I think that was even before Phantom Pain came out, and I remember playing Phantom Pain. God, what, 20? Oh God, oh no, 10 years ago.
Ugh.
Uh-oh, September 1st, 2015. It's almost 10 years ago.
This stream briefly interrupted as our guest has an existential crisis.
God, that game also set during the Soviet Union, or during the Cold War, set in Afghanistan and Africa, I believe. What region of Africa? But that was a fun game. I remember. I feel like it was perfectly suited. What a perfect game! I look back fondly on those times playing that game in our apartment.
Where's the other one of these things? All I know is, yeah, so I love how you say that it's like the idea, maybe because they didn't make any sense, that phrases like a weapon to surpass Metal Gear were so popular with fans.
Yeah, because it was referring to, at least if I'm remembering correctly, a weapon to surpass Metal Gear was referring to like, it was basically like a little mini mech, I think. I think. I'm sure there's a Reddit post I could find about this. Because in the trailer, they show like, hey, this weapon to surpass Metal Gear, and they show like, basically like a glorified, like, I don't know, like a powered walking suit with like a little SMG attached to it. And I think everyone's proper reaction was like, how the hell is that a weapon to surpass Metal Gear? That's like some little tiny like ATV that you just strapped like whatever, an Uzi to.
Ironic, isn't it?
So it could be a little. I can't remember how the line was used in the game, but given that line was uttered in a game set in the 80s, they could not have predicted Metal Gear Ray. This is really interesting. There's too much of this franchise. I was watching some cutscenes on YouTube or whatever of the first and third game, and I was just thinking like, man, I need to play these games again. They're just so interesting. They're just timeless. And Hideo Kojima is just a visionary writer. And I think around Christmas I was playing Death Stranding, which is a really interesting game. Doesn't really look well on the Steam Deck, and I think that's why I bounced off of it. So I need to play it back again on my laptop. But I think every game that he's been involved with has been very, very good. And I cannot recommend enough. If not necessarily playing all of Metal Gear Solid games, but at least like playing one or watching a very good video essay, which is something that I feel like I need to do and find and refer to people, because I don't know, like
You just believe in what Hideo Kojima created, I guess.
I guess I've absorbed all the, like, every major lore aspect of like Metal Gear's 1 through 4 and Peace Walker and Metal Gear Solid 5 The Phantom Pain, and even a little bit of Metal Gear Solid Portable Ops, which technically was not written by Hideo Kojima, but it is canonical. It's the only Metal Gear game that's canonical. Ooh. Yes, Metal Gear game, because... Wait. Never mind. I'm getting down a rabbit hole. But it's just a good franchise, and I feel like, especially within the region that we live in, it's just something that's like, I don't know. If you like, what was not the Russians, the Americans. I'm kind of curious. I don't know.
Oh, that was the TV show, The Americans. That was a great show.
Yes, The Americans, and I think I talk about this game franchise, and I'm like, ooh, international politics, spies, espionage, super weapons, and I think of like Captain America's Winter Soldier and stuff like that.
And also to some degree, the new one, Red Hulk.
Oh,
what was that movie called? Brave New World, right?
Yeah.
I think I've never said that title out loud, so I had to search for it.
I was just watching a video review of the Thunderbolts, and they were like trashing Brave New World, and I'm like, oh, I forgot that was the name of the movie that I watched. I don't think it was that bad.
It was just not what people go to the theater to see, but I loved it. I was like, oh, I love this. It's a monster movie. Brave New World was a monster movie with geopolitical elements. It was really like, it actually felt like a proper sequel to the original Hulk movie.
Yeah, something about the presentation of the movie perhaps confused audience. I don't know. For whatever reason, it clicked for me, but for perhaps other people, it didn't click.
Yeah.
But I don't think it was a bad movie. But yeah, those like America, Soviet Union, political shows, political stories interests me, and I think Metal Gear graduates from that. It stops being America and Russia, and it kind of becomes much more philosophical. It kind of started philosophically, but it like rooted itself in that initial conflict between America and Soviet Union. So I don't know, something that's really interesting. I could ramble about it, but I'm going to go to the bathroom really quick, and I'll be right back.
I'm going to keep plugging away. Oh, this is going to be tricky. All right. Okay, let's take off the legs. So this is hard because this only attaches by 2 studs for a second here. Let me go there. Now let's try attaching the head again. I think this is a head. Or the torso.
Ooh.
Yeah, take a look at that.
My God, holy crap! I blink and you're already almost done.
This thing is so big. This thing is so big. I don't know that I'm almost done per se. But I just attached what I can only imagine is like the nuclear missile launch platform or something like that.
I think you've attached, I guess you would say the torso?
That's kind of what I was
I'm not
leaning
sure.
towards.
It's kind of designed to look like a dinosaur. Like it was intentional.
There you go.
Oh, what's that?
Wait, hold on. I'm put it in the bottom right.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Where are my instructions?
Where's the trivia for it? Oh my God.
This does not, so I just checked the part number. 582 parts used out of 980. That is not the kind of numbers I typically look for with alt builds, but this is like, it's just so unique and so
I
distinctive.
couldn't even tell.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
So-
that's
so-
kind of shocking.
Yeah, but again, like but the process was different here. I didn't buy the Millennium Falcon because I felt like I had to, and then I wanted to do the best I could with it, which would be where my standard would apply. Instead, no, I saw this alt build and I was like, I wasn't even gonna buy this Millennium Falcon set, but this is just so cool that like I'm gonna do it. So like it doesn't bother me as much as it would.
No, this is honestly like I would buy it just to make this. I mean, actually, I guess it would be cheaper to. Presumably, I don't even know if this is something that you can do. Oh, look, well, is like just go to the item parts. I don't know.
Let's
I would
find
assume
out.
it's maybe
So
cheaper.
with Rebrickable, we can do that in like one click here. So if I go to inventory, 582, it'll tell us the approximate cost of these parts is 61.74. I feel like the Millennium Falcon that's pretty close. But then at least you wouldn't
also
have
got
very
on
many
sale.
extra.
I mean, it's got the Star Wars tax. If it's like almost 1,000 pieces, wouldn't it be like $100, $120?
Yeah, that's a good question. Let's find out. This is for science. This set's
Honestly,
number
I don't
is
like-
75,375. Let's go to brick set. Let's look at 75,375. So MSRP for this set was $85. So that's
Oh, wow, that's
20.
pretty
So
generous.
it's actually not that bad. I mean, again, it doesn't have any minifigures, which saves it a bit from the Star Wars tax. So what I paid for this would be 0.8 times 85. I probably paid $68 for this. So this does look like a case where, despite the lower part count, it was pretty pretty equal between
Yeah.
just buying the parts or buying the set. And if it's going to be the same cost, I might as well get more parts for the buck.
Yeah. Also, I think in one of the Jang review, like the stand for these things, isn't that like 100 or 50 pieces or something?
For like that Millennium Falcon or stuff like that.
For like almost all of the like Master Series or whatever. I don't know actually about the Star.
Oh yeah, no, good question. So like we'd have to ask like Antilles about that since he collects those Ultimate Collector Series ones. But yeah, like it definitely costs a bit to like start getting like stands and things.
Yeah, well I know they come with a stand and they like you factor that into like the part count and that might be like 50 to 100 parts just to like, display it.
Yeah.
So, actually, I would say this is a pretty good deal for what we're, and it's probably using some of the stand pieces in the build, I would assume.
I don't think this Millennium
you're
Falcon.
building the
Oh,
Ricardo.
I stand correct. You're totally right. This set definitely had a stand. I'm looking over at the box again, and I'm like, oh wait, no, there is a little black stand under there actually. So.
Yeah, I was just looking at I don't even know where I just saw it. Oh yes, it says this mock can be built using only the parts. Like the image they're showing has that little the trademark Lego display.
All right, so we're.
Dome. Oh, that's what it's called. You're building the Ray Dome. It's one word. It's dome, but with R-A in front of it. Radome.
Ah. All right, what's the Radome about? What is it? What's going on with the Radome?
The Radome is specifically used. I think it's I think it has. Oh God. Well, I know in the game it's what it uses to launch. Basically, like guided mortars. It's a video game boss fight, but I believe it's used to shoot down potential like bombers or airborne threats.
Wow, this thing was like
the
full
Radome
service.
is used to like basically just keep launching missiles at you, and they don't give you. I think the genius about the Metal Gear Solid games is that they don't like tell you really, like, oh, look out. There's a radome. Like, it's firing missiles at you. Pull out a chaff grenade. Like, you're just supposed to, like, intuitively recognize, like, hey, this sound, like, using the visual cues, auditory cues, and, like, fundamental, like, lessons learned during previous boss fights, or, like, I don't know, just guessing as to how this thing might work. The radome is, like, firing, it's being used to, like, just keep attacking you, but you have items like chaff grenades, which are like, what the hell would I use a chaff grenade for? I'm not a fighter jet. But you like throw that down onto the ground and it can't lock onto you. And then you use like your rocket launcher that you just happen to carry around because you play Smash Bros. Or Brawl. He's got the guided missile. You fire missiles at that radome to blow it up, and then Liquid Snake in there is like pissed, and he's forced to open up the cockpit so then he can like visually target you. Because otherwise he's like fully protected in basically like a metal cocoon that's like bulletproof. But the game doesn't tell you that.
So like it's just using a lot of intuitive design to like walk you through how to effectively complete the fight. That's cool.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to see if there's a better, because there's the fandom, but I thought there was a Metal Gear Solid private Wikipedia. Perhaps that got cannibalized.
Oh, we're attaching this.
Oh,
Radome attached.
Hell yeah. Oh, let me go back to screen. There it is. That's so cool. Oh, yeah, so is that pivotable or directional or anything?
Yeah, well, yeah, look.
I can't really see on the tiny.
Oh yeah,
bottom,
I should put it here.
Ooh, yeah. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, that's perfect.
It's good. It can like lock into position. It's a little bit posable, yeah. That's neat.
As much as you can ask for.
This is I mean, again, I'm sitting here going, this really is a unique, distinct, like this doesn't feel like something that somebody was like, oh, let me scavenge the parts that I have for this set that I had to buy. This feels like kind of like a Lego work of art. And like the picture that CreationCaravan posted with the I guess like the collectible Metal Gear picture beside this. I can actually show this. Hang on.
Oh, the statue. Yeah.
There, I show it in the right corner here. Like literally, like look at the proportions.
It's so cool.
Okay, so I guess I have to make the railgun now. Yeah, is this the railgun?
Yep, that's definitely the railgun.
You're like
I
that.
think this game was also the first time I'd even like heard of the concept of a railgun, and that was like, good lord, I don't know, maybe almost 20 years ago. Yes, so the radome, I was just looking it up. It's not just to like guide, I guess, the attacks. It is fully how, I guess it's how the pilot can see its surroundings. Like there's not a camera. I guess it somehow translates to like it's got, I don't know, sensory data like radar and thermal vision, and everything is just like baked into that giant dome, and it's able to see everything in its world across any spectrum. But
Ooh, so not just
blow it
visible light.
correct, it's not just like a big camera. It's got whatever you need. I don't know. I don't think they ever fully explain it. I mean, they probably try to explain it because Hideo Kojima just can't help himself with trying to be realistic. But, yeah. Oh, interesting. Wait a minute. I didn't know this. So yes, destruction of the radome, however, cuts off the sensory data feed and renders the VR interface inoperable, forcing the pilot to manually operate Rex by opening the cockpit. AKA that stud that I mentioned earlier. I was like interested that he had the cockpit open on his design. Obviously, he still has the radome, but whatever. Which also exposed it to enemy fire. This flaw was deliberately engineered by Otacon during development, as he felt it wouldn't be truly complete without a weakness or a character flaw of some sort.
Oh, that's really good.
My God, this genius inventor.
Death Star
You know.
inventors be like, it
It's
wouldn't
an
be
inversion
complete
of
without a
that.
character flaw.
I think it's like two sides of the same coin. Yeah, you have like the Death Star, in which some man is like very, very talented, but is conscripted against his will to complete a weapon that he does not want to complete. Otacon's story is such that he thought that this was weapon. I believe he said it was not going to be used to launch nukes. It was just going to be purely self-defense. And yeah, he had no idea the actual plans for Metal Gear Rex. So he I guess was in his innocent little bubble while designing it.
Scientists be like, it's going to be for peaceful use.
Yes, right. Oh God, what about all those memes about defense contractors and such?
Yep.
It's just like, oh God, I thought I had a meme of it recently. I don't even know where they went. Well, it'll show up eventually. Too many memes.
This is a long railgun. Wow. Goes like this.
Oh my God, so many acronyms. Forgot how much this probably kicked off my medium-lived obsession with military high-tech jargon
Huh.
and military weapons and vehicles and stuff. It's the XGAU-8R rotary cannon and AGM-114P anti-tank missiles. I think it had a pretty strong overlap with Star Wars, with the word salad for some of the weapons that they used.
Babe, wake up. Somebody posted Metal Gear Rex schematics on War Thunder forum again.
Oh God! Honestly, that in the Metal Gear universe, that is probably what happened.
I kind of feel like we're almost done here.
Yeah, no, that was pretty quick. I mean,
Well, again, once I laid everything out, it was just as fast as making any other set. This railgun, this feels really good to hold, actually. I'm like, oh, it's so long. I just want, it's nice.
And it's funny because it looks like it could fit a stud in there and shoot it.
Yeah, it does. I feel like you could attach a stud shooter in here pretty easily.
Do Legos, do they ever use magnets to shoot things, or is it always rubber bands?
Magnets? Magnets are in
Does
some...
Lego ever use magnets?
Yeah, they used to, but now they don't because they're swallowing choking risks for children. So, the 2001 Jango Fett Starship, for example, used magnets to lift the cargo crate that came with it.
Oh.
And there were a lot of magnets in some late 90s themes, like Rock Raiders for lifting cargo, and Aquazone, which was late 80s for lift. It's often for lifting cargo. All right, let's do this.
Interesting.
Oh, we've got a ball joint there. This is going to be totally posable. Ugh.
Oh, no kidding. I mean, I guess it has to be. Rex's most fearsome weapon, however, was the magnetic railgun, capable of delivering an untraceable nuclear warhead anywhere in the world without propellant trail or launch flare that gives away the launch position of a traditional ballistic missile.
Bagel, look at this. Look at this. You could totally pose this thing. It's so cool.
Terrifying.
Wait, that's super neat. That's super neat.
That's super cool. Oh my god.
All right, now for the mouth.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and it's not like so ridiculously big that it feels like exactly the right size. Feels really good.
That's what I was thinking. Like, it feels perfectly like you can display and someone will recognize it across the room. Like, it doesn't have to be massive, but it's also something that you could. I mean, like, well, hopefully it's sturdy enough that you could, in theory, like, play with it.
A little bit. The legs connection is perfectly angled, but it leaves a little bit to desire. And again, that's specifically because like we're working with the constraints of an alt build here.
Yeah.
But it would be so easy to make the little adjustment, like even just 2 clips holding instead of 1 clip holding would have done the trick. Yeah, I was thinking while you were out, like, it is true. Where are these binoculars? It is true that, like, Metal Gear Rex is kind of recognizable. Like, I haven't played the games, but, like when I see the shape of this thing, I go, oh, I know that shape from somewhere. And I go, oh, wait, I know the shape. The somewhere that I know the shape from is itself. From, like,
Yeah.
like, you just kind of culturally sponge it up from osmosis, you know, just from, like, things like you said, like Super Smash Brothers or whatever.
Oh, true. Oh my god, I forgot it was in the background.
It was in the background of the Shadow Moses Island.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive because it's not like, I mean, it's a weird comparison to say like Pikachu, but it's not something that showed up in more than 2 games. They've obviously, it's become like a core cultural identity of the franchise. Later games after it have made things and retroactively explained in universe why the design looks the way it does.
Uh-huh.
But like, according to the consumer in our real timeline, they're like, oh, okay, this game came out. They wanted to be like, let's have Metal Gear Rex, but it's not Metal Gear Rex. Like, or let's have Metal Gear Rex, but it's a prototype. Or let's have Metal Gear Rex, but it's controlled by a magic kid. That was technically Metal Gear Solid 5. They're like, what the hell? How can they possibly design this thing? They're like, the cockpit's so small, they can't have a full-grown soldier control it. Like, the joints just won't work. They're like, okay, well, here's this psychic kid, because psychic powers exist in like 0.0001% of the population in this universe for reasons.
Because why not?
So like they find ways to like refresh. Yeah, it's basically like every game's royalty-free Pikachu.
Yeah.
But Metal Gear Rex was really, and it still I think is the most recognizable thing. And then I think it was Metal Gear Ray, but it's kind of amazing because I don't feel like they've done a overwhelmingly annoying job of like capitalizing on its success. Like, yeah, there's that one model that's been sold out for a long time, but they don't like keep selling it. I think the problem is Hideo Kojima and Konami, the original publisher for Metal Gear Solid, had a really bad falling out, and I don't remember all the details about it. But Metal Gear as like a franchise basically is dead except for remakes. For whatever reason, they did just announce a really high quality remake of Metal Gear Solid 3, but Rex is not in that. So it's kind of it's interesting that you can recognize the design.
I really think it's just like Smash Bros. I didn't know what it was, but I just like, again,
It's
by
distinct.
osmosis, it's distinct.
Good
Yeah.
design. It's one of those things you look at and you're like, oh, I can basically figure out like this thing is intimate. It's kind of like seeing like a Final Fantasy boss, or like a Final Fantasy final boss. You're like, oh shit, like that's Kafka. Like I know I know Kafka. He's a clown. If I ever see a clown, I'm like, oh my god, I'm thinking of Final Fantasy like distantly in my subconscious.
Yeah. Yeah.
But like, he's not in every game.
I feel like this build is so impressive. I feel if Lego had made this and they'd made it like 20% more stable because they're not under the constraints of an alt build, but like literally the same scale and everything, like I feel like this would have sold. Put in a Solid Snake minifigure or something now that they've got the
Look, man. Yeah.
yeah.
Actually, I guess I don't know if anybody really knows this. How does the licensing who makes the decision? Like, for example, the Nintendo crossovers. Like, let's not just say Pokemon, like Legend of Zelda. I feel like those sets were just brain dead, like, you know, money on the table opportunity.
Yeah.
And then they made them, and then they, you know, they gouged the price up like 400%. But like, who does Lego have to contact Nintendo, or in this case Konami, to make a Metal Gear Rex set, or does Konami have to contact Lego?
It can go either way, actually, I think. From what I've seen about this, from following Lego ideas, like, it can go either way. Like, Lego has the ability to reach out to the licensing, and they can't, a lot of these companies, like, they can't give Lego licensing if another company currently holds the rights for it. So, like, this is why they couldn't do, what's something that they've taken from Mega Bloks over time? There was a really big example that I can't remember right now, but the newest one is Pokemon. Lego just got the Pokemon rights, Lego Pokemon right, which I have no idea what to expect from that. But they couldn't, like, for quite a while, it wasn't Mega Bloks, it was some third company, but they had the Pokemon rights. Actually, maybe it was Mega Bloks.
I think it was Mega Bloks.
I mean, they just had it. Like, you can actually go into stores still and see, like, Lego-looking Pokemon.
Like Ace Hardware. Yeah, Ace Hardware near me. Like, you just walk over and it's like, oh, look, it's Bulbasaur or whatever.
Yep.
I remember there were some comments when that was announced that, like, people were saying it was like the competition was good for the consumer because it kept Lego having to, like, improve their quality. But if Lego just owns everything, like, who's to say they don't just, like, they stop innovating and they start overcharging? So
yeah, I think there's definitely some reason behind that, for sure.
Yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I never personally was buying a lot of Legos, and I don't think I've ever grown up having a Mega Bloks set of anything. But I know, like, the quality of Mega Bloks has come a long way from, you know, from when I was a kid. So even though I never, like, gave them any money, I do feel sad that, like, Mega Bloks might be on its, like, last legs.
Yeah, so I collected the Mega Bloks Dragons sets, which I thought were just really, really well done. It was like a whole little franchise, whole, like, unique franchise, like Lego Ninjago. Actually, it's, or stuff like that.
The Ninjago sets too seem really interesting. Those are things that I'd like to see, and I could conceive myself as possibly having, like, the Lego Ninjago City.
There's some cool stuff.
Like, really
Yeah.
cool.
I have one of the, like, 6 Lego Ninjago City sets, big sets, and I like it. I use it as a skyscraper. It's pretty cool. I have Ninjago City Gardens, which it doesn't really look like a garden, but it's a cool set. I didn't get the one that they released next after it.
Yeah.
Well, we're just about set here. This is pretty neat.
Yeah, no.
All right, time to make that mouth you were geeking out about.
Yeah, the cockpit. And I'm just, like, going through the Wikipedia. I keep going to it and getting distracted. The Metal Gear Rex's original purpose, at least as told to Otacon, and perhaps even before its production was, I think, hijacked. I'd have to scroll back up to see that. It was only going to be used to shoot down enemy ICBMs. Hence the need for a very high velocity railgun.
Yeah.
High radar. And then they were like, well, wait a minute, if we can shoot down ICBMs, well, why
What
don't
if we
retrofit
just shot them?
Right. So that's why Otacon was just like, yeah.
Again, like you said, literally every Lockheed Martin employee, every defense contractor be like,
it's only gonna be used for peace. Facial recognition to, like, determine people, like, what they look like underneath a mask. A shot. It's fine.
what could possibly go wrong?
Nothing. The railgun's feature was also implied by Arms Tech president Kenneth Baker to be illegal, and that were it to be discovered, his company would most likely end up shut down. That's pretty interesting. Yeah, I wonder what, like, international treaties. I mean, probably nothing.
The world has done a shockingly good job with nuclear weapons. I mean, like, there's a whole field of study around the idea of how on earth, when we as a world have done so bad with so much else, have we done so good with nuclear weapons in the 100 years since
Honestly,
they're,
yeah.
well,
It
80
is-
years.
I try not to like think about too much because then I feel like I'll jinx it.
Yep. I think that's all
I'll
of
be
us.
like, uh-oh. I mean, I feel like we came dangerously close in Ukraine, whatever it was, like 2 years ago, where they were. I thought there was talks about using like dirty weapons or something.
Mouth.
Yeah.
Look at
Oh my
that.
god! Holy crap! This build came on so fast. Man,
Am I done?
yes.
I'm just
You might
about
be
done. Okay,
That's
now I just have to set this mouth on without breaking everything. And like,
I can
also
do
something
sound
about this
effects.
build, it's like just the right amount jiggly, like a premium action figure would be. I don't know how to describe it.
Oh, that's fun.
It's kind of cool. All right, this is going to be mildly challenging to
I
apply.
gotta watch this. 1 minute. Let's go. Hopefully it's...
All right, we're going to set it. Then we can lower this. Oh, I just love how you can pose the railgun. It's so neat. Metal Gear Rex. Blah!
I'm just watching a quick video.
You have been a fantastic subject matter expert. Telling us about, like, the radome.
I wanted to find a video of the Metal Gear Rex roar because it's kind of trademarked.
Boom. Just like that.
Oh my god, I just was like listening to a couple of sound bites, muting myself and unmuting myself so there's no echo, and I just realized that Metal Gear Rex's sound design gives very, very strong flashbacks to like old school Godzilla sounds. Because
Oh,
for
I
whatever
feel like
reason,
that
it
makes
can go
sense.
through, like a speaker, and it can like it makes sounds. And it sounds like a monster, which, oh my god, that's such a genius design aesthetic for it. It's not just like a big machine, it's designed to like behave or sound like an animal. Ugh, that's so cool. Man, that is a lot of extra pieces, though. I'm kind of surprised. It felt like it was using a lot, but I guess that Millennium Falcon is just really dense, huh?
Yeah, it must be really dense. But like I said, I'm happy. I would be really annoyed if this was like a true alt build, but like I got this one for Metal Gear Rex,
Yeah.
and this is, I mean,
And
point the
Yeah,
railgun right at the
yeah.
camera. This is great. All right. Well, that's
Man,
it.
I
I
like
wasn't
that.
really
Yeah.
trying to do too much else tonight. I call that a successful, like this. I feel like we just did a podcast or something. I call this a
that's
successful.
super cool.
Yeah.
Now I feel like I need to get my own.
Like I said, it might is not the worst time in the world considering it's on sale right now. So
Oh,
For-
it is on sale. Oh, yes, you did mention that. Yeah.
a lot of things are for like
you
Star
can
Wars
tear
week.
this apart after like taking a couple pictures, and I'm sure there's dozens of other alt designs. Like I think I saw the same Instagram. Actually, never mind. Different Millennium Falcon. I think I saw that like Tip Millennium Falcon made the Outrider, a couple other things. So like people are always probably coming up with different builds.
Yeah.
These are pretty solid investments now that I think about it.
I'm telling you, alt builds are the way to go. You literally, it's just you're putting your money in an asset. It's not, you're not pouring it down the drain in the same way as some of the other
Yeah.
stuff. Which again, like not pot kettle, because literally on Sunday I'll be doing a true, loose parts build, whatever. But it's fun.
Right.
Okay,
That
well,
was fun.
on that note, thanks for the guest appearance. I feel like I was on a podcast here. I feel like I had a podcast expert on Metal Gear, but this was great.
That was fun. Oh yeah, thank you for having me.
All right,
Send me
let's.
the link for the whatever the thing with the Stinger Mantis.
Oh, I sure. Well, actually, let's just we'll show that as the last thing since we talked about it and I have this loaded up already. So I'm gonna say Stinger Mantis. So there's a lot. So hold on. So here's how I'm gonna do this. First, I'm gonna say R2D2 Lego set Darth Malik. So that's gonna give me the set number. So the set number is 75379. This is still for sale. So I'm gonna do 75359. No, 379. Yeah. So I'm going to go and I'm going to scroll down and I'm going to look specifically at alt builds. And I mean, people did so much with this set because people bought it for the
Oh my
minifigure.
god, LEATs? No kidding. Oh, Z95.
Z95 Y-wing clone platoon minifigure display.
Is this Stinger Mantis?
Oh, I forgot. This took 2 sets. It took R2D2 and the Mandalorian Fang Fighter. But look at this thing.
Whoa, that's wow.
And it's like got the features like the like
God.
inside the little
Wait, can you
plants,
zoom in?
2 chairs. Can I zoom?
Or I don't know what HDMI.
Nah, I can't really.
Oh my god! It literally even had. Okay, this one. Yeah, this is definitely the best one I've ever seen. Like,
And like you can move the thingy on the bottom, and it's substantial. It's like 16 inches big. It's a really good use of the parts.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
So who did this one? Let's see. This was Z Soltom. So again, like, and then I'll show one last one. Let's look at Kylo Ren's command shuttle.
Kylo Ren. I feel like we could not go a Lego stream without you mentioning Kylo Ren of the First Order.
The First Order. And I want to look at sets actually.
Wow. Wait, they did a. I did not know they did a First Order Star Destroyer.
They did. It's really cool. Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle 2015? Yes. Okay. So this set, I'm pulling this up because this is my alt build mecha. I own 6 copies of this set because I have built so many alt builds of it. I built this Zeta class shuttle, which we saw in Rogue One. I built this Lego. I built the Supremacy. This thing is so cool. It's literally Snoke's flagship.
Yeah, yeah.
I built this Trade Federation or Separatist lander, which looks super
Cool.
cool.
There's so much you can do with this.
So those are the official ones that I built, and then I also built. I built a what do they call this thing? The TIE Echelon, which is on display at Disney. So this is my own mock. I literally did this one myself. So I built a TIE Echelon. Yeah, it's super cool.
Just send me a picture of this guy. Yeah.
And then I think I did something else too. Like I literally have 5 or 6 copies of Kylo Ren's Command Shuttle. I don't know what it is about this set, but like people like start looking at these kinds of things and they go, "Oh, I see things I can do with this." It's kind of neat. Anyway, alt builds. They're fun.
Alt build. What a fascinating world. Thank you for sharing this with me.
Yeah, thanks, Stu Bagel. It's been nice to have